Gable Steveson is the fucking guy. That's the guy. He's not even in the UFC yet. Olympic gold medalist, fucking freak athlete, 250 pounds, moves like a cat. I sent a text message to Dana White. I sent him a video of Gable's last fight. I said, everyone's fucked. Everyone's fucked when this guy comes out. He KO'd this guy with a left hand and then took him down as he was knocked out. Watch this knockout because it's so fucking crazy. The speed that this guy has, really good striking already, and he's only been striking for like a fucking year. But watch when he KOs this guy, he hits him with a punch, boom, and then takes him down. Everyone's fucked. Well, I mean, that's just nuts, man. That kind of speed is nuts for a heavyweight. The heavyweight division is so devoid of talent. Gable Steveson, that's the guy. He's not even in the UFC yet. Olympic gold medalist, 250 pounds, moves like a cat. I sent a message to Dana White, video of Gable's last fight. He KO'd this guy with a left hand and then took him down as he was knocked out. Really good striking, and he's only been striking for like a year. When he fought in dirty boxing, first of all, this guy has no business being in there with him. He knocks the guy out, and then he leaps over the top rope and lands.
So is this like the modern day DC?
Even better and bigger. Freak!
Joe Rogan and Jon Jones send a massive bombshell message to Tom Aspinall that's got the entire MMA world buzzing. But that's not all. Joe Rogan is warning the UFC's talent-starved heavyweight division that Gable Steveson is coming, and in his words, everyone's fucked. This is the kind of statement that sends shockwaves through the entire division, and we're going to break down exactly what this means for fighters like Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, and in the future of heavyweight MMA.
The heavyweight division is so shallow. You got Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane, Jon Jones if he chooses to fight again. Francis, by some miracle, they can work something out and bring him back to the UFC. Other than that, there's no one compelling. You're already there, which is nuts. When I watched you move and I watched you fight, I was like, okay, how do you stop that? In my mind, only a few guys where it's going to be a problem. The Francis Ngannou, the Cyril Ganes, and the Tom Aspinalls. That's it.
This is about to get real interesting, so let's jump right into it. Alright, so here's what went down. On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe was talking with Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and the conversation turned to the UFC's heavyweight division. Now, we all know the heavyweight division has been criticized lately for being talent-starved, especially with Jon Jones holding the belt and questions surrounding potential matchups.
The heavyweight division is so devoid of talent. Gable Steveson, that's the guy. He's not even in the UFC yet. Olympic gold medalist, 250 pounds, moves like a cat. I sent a message to Dana White, video of Gable's last fight. He KO'd this guy with a left hand and then took him down as he was knocked out. Really good striking, and he's only been striking for like a year. When he fought in dirty boxing, first of all, this guy has no business being in there with him. He knocks the guy out, and then he leaps over the top rope and lands.
So is this like the modern day DC?
Even better and bigger. Freak!
But Rogan dropped this absolute bomb. He believes Gable Steveson is going to change everything. And here's the exact quote that has everyone talking. Rogan said, and I quote, "Gable Steveson is the guy. That's the guy. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 250 pounds, moves like a cat. That's the guy. Everyone's fecked when this guy comes out."
Gable Steveson is the fucking guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's the guy. He's not even in the UFC yet. I mean, that Olympic gold medalist, fucking freak athlete, 250 pounds, moves like a cat. That's the guy that he's I sent a text message to Dana White. I sent him a video of Gable's last fight. I said, everyone's fucked. Everyone's fucked when this guy comes out.
Now, for those who don't know, Gable Steveson is a freak athlete. We're talking about an Olympic gold medalist wrestler at just 25 years old. This kid can do backflips at 250 pounds and has been training with Jon Jones himself. Rogan even sent Dana White a video of Gable's last fight, and let me tell you, it was brutal. In the clip Rogan showed, Gable knocked his opponent out with a left hook and then took him down while the guy was already unconscious. The speed, the power, the technique, it's all there. Rogan compared it to a video game combo.
Dude, everyone's fucked. And then just, well, I mean, that's just nuts, man. That kind of speed is nuts for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Look at that left hook. Boom, takes him down, smash. And then
that's like a video game combo. Jesus.
Exactly. And he can do backflips and shit. When he fought in dirty boxing, he knocks the guy out and then he leaps over the top rope and lands on the apron.
So why is Rogan so high on Gable Steveson? Let's break it down. First, the wrestling credentials. Olympic gold medalist. That's the highest level of wrestling you can achieve. And in MMA, especially in the heavyweight division, elite wrestling is absolutely crucial. We've seen it with Daniel Cormier, we've seen it with Stipe Miocic, and we're seeing it dominate right now in other divisions, with guys like Islam Makhachev and Khamzat Chimaev.
Fit in, fit in, fit in. Oh, sorry. You good?
But Gable isn't just a wrestler. Rogan pointed out that he's been developing his striking for about a year, and he's already showing scary power and speed. For a heavyweight to move that fast and have that kind of knockout power, that's rare, folks. The comparison Rogan made was interesting too. He suggested Gable could be even better than Daniel Cormier. And that's saying something considering DC was a two-division champion. Rogan said Gable is maybe even better and bigger with incredible athleticism.
He's maybe even better and bigger, a lot bigger.
like-
You see how he jumped over that rope? Watch
super,
that again.
Super
Back-
athletic, but like doesn't, kind of unassuming.
Exactly. Well, I mean, not really unassuming. He's a fucking house, man. He just
Well,
doesn't.
I mean,
he has
if he's-
higher body fat.
Yeah.
But look how he jumped over that rope.
Oh
man.
yeah, when you see that, of course. It's
Watch it. Just show that again.
Yeah, that was insane.
Well, look how the effortless. Look at just effortless.
Gable's been fighting in this organization called Dirty Boxing, racking up experience and working on his stand-up game. He's trying to fight every month to get as much experience as possible before making his UFC debut. That's the kind of dedication and game plan that creates champions. Now this ties directly into the current heavyweight situation with Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. As we know, Jones is the current heavyweight champion, and Aspinall is the interim champion. The MMA world has been calling for this unification bout, but there's been a lot of back and forth.
Just say hello. Just say hello. How are you? Good, man. Nice to meet you too. Good to do this thing alone. I don't this far. I would hope so. I would hope so. All the best. All the best. Quick mixture. Sure. Let's get it. Say something.
According to the discussion on Rogan's podcast, there's clearly respect for what Jones brings to the table. They talked about how Jones is training with Gable Steveson, which shows the caliber of training partners Jones surrounds himself with. But here's where it gets interesting. The implication is clear. If Gable Steveson is coming, and he's as good as Rogan says, then the current heavyweight landscape, including potential matchups between Jones and Aspinall, might look very different in a year or two. Tom Aspinall has been very vocal on social media about wanting to fight Jon Jones. The British powerhouse has been finishing opponents left and right and has made it clear he believes he's the best heavyweight in the world. Now, with Rogan's comments about Gable entering the mix, Aspinall took to Twitter to address the situation. While we don't have the exact tweet in our source material, Aspinall has consistently maintained his position that he's ready for anyone in the division, whether that's Jones, Gable, or anyone else the UFC puts in front of him.
Instead of being stationary and standing, you step forward. It's two different. Short shoe, normal. Yeah. Right. I don't have any.
Let's talk about what this means for the UFC's heavyweight division moving forward. Rogan's right about one thing. The division has been criticized for lacking depth. You've got Jon Jones at the top, Tom Aspinall as interim champ, and then it drops off pretty significantly. The wrestling pedigree alone makes any of these fights fascinating. And here's the thing that Rogan emphasized. Gable has that rare combination of elite wrestling with developing knockout power. That's a nightmare matchup for anyone.
This action. Gable Steveson dropping major bombs. Huge shots. Braden Peterson hanging on, but for how long?
Gable in the mouth, raining punches. Vicious.
Pounding and pounding vicious shots.
Peterson needs to try to defend himself or they're going to stop this fight.
The legacy of Gable Steveson in MMA.
The other factor is age. Gable is only 25 years old. Jon Jones is in his late 30s. By the time Gable is ready for a title shot, the landscape could look completely different. This could be the torch-passing moment the heavyweight division needs.
We got a world-class boxer, Andre Berto. Gable Steveson, gold medalist wrestler.
He's the best. I'm just here for fun.
Gold medalist.
He gassing me up. He got it all.
Training under Jon Jones.
And let's not forget, Rogan specifically said everyone's fecked, not just some fighters, not just a few contenders, everyone. That's about as strong an endorsement as you can get from Joe Rogan, someone who's been watching fights and fighters for decades.
Jab off, jab.
So there you have it, fight fans. Joe Rogan has put the entire UFC heavyweight division on notice. Gable Steveson is coming, and he believes the young Olympic gold medalist is going to shake things up in a major way. Whether it's Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, or anyone else in that division, Rogan's message is clear. Watch out. What do you think?
Can't wait to see you compete at the White House. Can't wait to see it.
I know. I really hope it happens. Dana, bro, please, bro. Please, I'm training. I feel great. I'm healthy. And I'd be so honored to represent our country and do what I do best.
Jon Jones drops a massive bombshell to Dana White, publicly begging to be added to the historic UFC White House card. But Dana's response? Let's just say things just got real interesting. Stay tuned because what happens next will shock you. At Thursday night's Dirty Boxing 4 event in Nashville, Tennessee, Jones was asked about the upcoming UFC White House card, and what he said next sent shockwaves through the MMA community. Dana, please bro, please. I'm training, I feel great, I'm healthy, and I'd be so honored to represent our country and do what I do best. This wasn't just a casual comment. This was Jones, on his knees metaphorically, begging for a spot on the most historic UFC event ever conceived. The event is scheduled for June 14th, 2026, at the White House itself, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States.
So every one of our national park, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250. And I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. Does anybody watch UFC, the great Dana White? We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little, we're not, Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. We're going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events, but the UFC fight's going to be a big deal too.
Jones was at the event supporting his teammate Gable Steveson, who secured a devastating 13-second knockout victory. But all eyes were on Jones when he grabbed the microphone. You could hear the desperation, the genuine desire in his voice. This is a man who knows he's messed up, who knows he's burned bridges, but still believes he deserves one more shot at glory.
Cannabis-infused elevated seltzers, Gable Steveson, Billy Swanson. We're set to go in our main event at PBS 4.
This is the fight we all came here to see tonight. Here we go. Ooh. Oh!
Steveson!
He had those hands. He's been working on those hands, and he looked tremendous just now. Wow. Amazing.
But here's where things get complicated. Dana White has made it crystal clear that Jon Jones is not in his good books right now. In fact, White gave Jones odds of 1,000,000,000 to 1 of appearing on the White House card. Why such harsh words for his biggest star? Let's break it down. Earlier this year, Jones allegedly agreed to a massive $30 million deal to fight heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall. But then, he backed out. Instead of taking the fight, Jones announced his retirement. That retirement lasted just a few weeks before he retired, but the damage was done.
The greatest fighter of all time, talking about Johnny Bones Jones, is more than likely going to fight Tom Aspinall, and more than likely gonna be paid around $30 million.
This wasn't the first time Jones has left Dana and the UFC hanging. Over his legendary career, Jones has been responsible for canceled main events, a completely canceled pay-per-view card, and even had an event moved from Las Vegas to Los Angeles at the last minute. He's been stripped of titles multiple times and has relinquished 2 championship belts. The pattern is undeniable. In September, White didn't hold back. He said, and I quote, "Jon Jones is the greatest of all time. I still know that to be a fact. But he's not the greatest of all time, guys. You can count on that. You know 100% is going to be solid and be there."
The greatest fighter to ever live is Jon Jones. Never lost a fight. Because when you really think about fighting, put 2 guys in a room and who comes out? Jon Jones walks out of that room every time. He doesn't go for that arm bar. He beats Francis Ngannou and becomes the heavyweight champion. Jon Jones walked through him like it was nothing. And when you really think about what pound for pound means, Jon Jones is the pound for pound best.
Let's address the elephant in the room, Tom Aspinall. The current UFC heavyweight champion has been calling for this fight, and Jones wants absolutely nothing to do with it.
Jon Jones is probably watching this, so send him a message.
Hello, John. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight, so I'm coming for it.
At the DBX4 weigh-ins, Jones showed up on a horse wearing an eye patch, a not-so-subtle dig at Aspinall. But when it comes to actually fighting him, crickets. The MMA community has been brutal in their criticism. Fans and analysts alike have accused Jones of ducking Aspinall, afraid that the younger, hungrier champion might end his legendary run. Jones has publicly apologized for the retirement drama and acknowledged that he understands why he's not in Dana's good graces, but actions speak louder than words.
You retired, but now it seems like you're getting back into it.
Yes,
Can you just explain it, break it down for us a little bit?
I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. Just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
Instead, Jones has his eyes on a super fight with light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. He even tweeted, "Alex, I'd be down to bring the highest skill level to the White House. Let's dance." And to be fair, this fight has massive appeal. Both champions, both devastating finishers, both with legitimate claims to greatness. UFC commentator Joe Rogan even suggested putting the BMF belt on the line for this matchup. So after Jones's public plea at Dirty Boxing 4, all eyes turned to Dana White. Would he soften his stance? Would he give the GOAT another chance? Dana took to Twitter, and his message was short but spoke volumes. The UFC boss has remained firm that he won't start putting together the White House card until February 2026, giving Jones a small window to prove he's reliable. But right now, it's not looking good for Bones.
It's not even about him winning the belt. You know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House card.
What makes this situation even more interesting is the political angle. Jon Jones celebrated his last victory at UFC 309 against Stipe Miocic by doing President Donald Trump's signature dance. Trump was in attendance that night, and Jones clearly wants to perform for him again at the White House. There's genuine patriotism in Jones's plea. He wants to represent his country on the biggest stage, but wanting something and earning it are two different things. The card is shaping up to be absolutely stacked, with or without Jon Jones. Dana has made it clear he wants reliability over star power for this particular event. He needs fighters who will show up, make weight, and deliver a performance worthy of the occasion. Let's talk about Jon Jones' recent track record, because context matters here. At 38 years old, Jones has a career record of 28-1. That single loss? A disqualification against Matt Hamill back in 2009. A fight many believe he was winning before the controversial stoppage. His last fight at UFC 309 was dominant. He destroyed Stipe Miocic, retained his heavyweight championship, and looked unstoppable. After the fight, he did the Trump dance in celebration, signaling his political allegiances and his desire to fight at the White House. But then came the retirement announcement. Social media erupted with speculation. Was he serious? Was this a negotiation tactic? Was he really done? Within weeks, he was back, talking about fighting Alex Pereira and begging for the White House spot. Jones knows what he's done wrong. He's acknowledged his mistakes publicly. He understands why Dana doesn't trust him. But understanding the problem and fixing it are two different things. The question is whether Jones can prove, through consistent behavior over the next few months, that he's changed. So where does this leave us? Jon Jones has a few months to prove himself. He's training, he says he's healthy, and he desperately wants this opportunity. But Dana White's trust has been broken multiple times. Between canceled events, stripped titles, relinquished belts, and the most recent $30 million debacle, Jones has earned his reputation as the GOAT of chaos. Dana has made it clear, no decisions until February 2026. That's Jones's window. That's his chance. He needs to stay healthy, stay out of trouble, stay in the headlines for the right reasons, and most importantly, prove he's willing to take whatever fight the UFC offers him.
And Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the White House card.
First and foremost, are you retired?
I am not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool.
Great. And what's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention. But ultimately, it's up to the boss.
If I did, Jon Jones would be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
If I did, it would be Ilia Topuria.
Well, there you go. You do it, so good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dana, over here.
Yeah.
Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson has been seen recently training with Jon Jones and said himself he plans on joining the UFC. Is that someone you're interested in seeing?
So the question, what did Gable Steveson and Jon Jones,
been
what?
training with Jon Jones, and he wants to come to UFC.
Jon Jones is training? Holy shit. That's news to me. Was he on the reality show in Thailand or something?
Oh, boy.
When you knock on my door, and I say, hello,
boy.
Satan,
Spider webs.
I believe it is time to go. Me and the devil.
Jon Jones has dropped a massive bombshell about his fighting future. Despite Dana White's 1,000,000,000 odds against him, Bones Jones is declaring he's not retired and is actively training 5 days a week for what could be the most historic UFC event ever. The White House card set for June 2026.
Doing pretty well. Things are going great. The White House. Dana White said, you and Jon Jones, that's a real deal. I'm going home. I'm going to get the head down. I'm going to rest. They're testing me. I'm in the pool. I says, you always say, man, I thought that's what the pools are for, jumping in and out. But I'm back in the pool. So get ready and stay ready because damage will be done. Oval Office, White House card.
But that's not all. Conor McGregor has also thrown his hat into the ring with a cryptic Twitter post declaring McGregor's return. This raises the burning question. Are we looking at a potential dream card featuring both legendary fighters at the president's residence? Stay tuned as we break down all the explosive details. Let's start with the man who started it all, Jon Jones. Remember, this is the same fighter who announced his retirement just months ago, effectively killing a mega fight with Tom Aspinall that fans had been desperately waiting for. Dana White was not happy about that decision.
You retired, but now it seems like you're getting back into it.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
explain it? Break it down for us a little bit.
I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, you know, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. Just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
But speaking at the MTV VMAs, Jones made his intentions crystal clear. And I quote, "I am not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool." That's right, folks. Jones has re-entered the USADA testing pool, which means he's serious about this comeback.
Jon Jones has unretired. That is correct. He says that he is now back in the testing pool. Check this out. So, of course, the UFC shares this, and this is very nice of the UFC. Jon Bones Jones, the greatest of all time.
When pressed about the White House card specifically, Jones said, "I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention, but ultimately it's up to the boss. The boss, of course, being Dana White, and White is not making this easy for Jones."
First and foremost, are you retired?
I am not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool.
Great. And what's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention. But ultimately, it's up to the boss.
The UFC president has set the odds at 1,000,000,000 for Jones appearing on this historic card. Why? Because Jones has burned bridges before, backing out of the Tom Aspinall fight after reportedly agreeing to terms. White doesn't trust Jones with such a massive event, and frankly, can you blame him?
What makes you confident?
What makes me confident? Oh, man. I don't know, just hard work. Hard work and doing the things that people don't like to do. I think that builds confidence. Repetition builds confidence.
Getting to your level, which is, I want to just say congratulations on everything you've done.
Thank you.
What was the biggest struggle you've dealt with in your career, but that struggle made you who you are today?
The biggest struggle. You know, one thing that I'm learning in life right now is just to say yes to opportunities and not to allow insecurities or fears to hold you back. For example, just 2 days ago on Friday, I got this opportunity to be a presenter in one of the biggest shows in the world. Pretty intimidating opportunity, but I said yes, right? So I think one of the biggest things I'm working on in life right now is just saying yes, facing your fears head on.
What advice would you give to someone who is afraid of facing their fears every single day?
My advice would be to just do it. And oftentimes after it's done, you're going to be so glad that you did. And I do believe the best things in life are usually on the opposite side of hard work and fear.
Jon, thank you so much. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about this unprecedented UFC White House card. Because this isn't just any fight night. We're talking about the most ambitious MMA event in history. Originally scheduled for July 4th, 2026, America's 250th birthday, the event has now been moved up to June 2026, and the details are absolutely mind-blowing. Fighters will warm up inside the White House itself. Ceremonial weigh-ins will take place on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. We're talking about fireworks, light shows, and festivities unlike anything the sport has ever seen.
So every one of our national park, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250. And I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have, does anybody watch UFC, the great Dana Well? We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little, we're not, Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. Going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events, but the UFC fight's going to be a big deal too.
This isn't just about entertainment. This is about history. The UFC has never held an event at the White House, and with America celebrating its 250th anniversary, this card represents the ultimate fusion of American combat sports and patriotic celebration. But here's the catch. Getting on this card isn't just about being a big name. Dana White is being extremely selective because this event will be watched by millions around the world. The stakes couldn't be higher, and that's exactly why Jones's past behavior is coming back to haunt him. Just when you thought this story couldn't get more explosive, enter Conor McGregor. The Irish superstar, who hasn't fought since November 2021, took to Twitter with a simple but powerful message: McGregor's return.
When the fight is going on, while the fight's happening and we're filming, one whole side of the backdrop will be the White House. We will absolutely positively put on the baddest card of all time.
So what would be the dream main event?
The dream main event right now would be Aspinall versus Jones.
Is it possible that McGregor and Jones would fight on the same card?
Could be.
Now, this is huge news because McGregor, unlike Jones, seems to have Dana White's blessing. Earlier reports revealed that McGregor had exchanged direct messages with White about headlining the White House card, and White reportedly loved the idea. Think about it. McGregor might not be American, but he's arguably the biggest draw in UFC history. His return would guarantee massive pay-per-view numbers and global attention for this historic event. Plus, unlike Jones, McGregor hasn't been backing out of agreed fights recently. The question everyone's asking: could we see both McGregor and Jones on the same card? A double main event featuring two of the sport's most controversial yet captivating figures? The possibility has fans around the world losing their minds on social media. But we can't forget about the elephant in the room. Tom Aspinall, the current interim heavyweight champion, has been waiting for his shot at Jones. And this White House situation has put him on high alert.
But undisputed status is disputed. That's where we're at right now.
Well, somebody said an interim champion can't be in the presence of an undisputed champion, and an undisputed champion can't be in the presence of an interim champion.
And that's true.
They both contradict each other completely.
Of course.
So we need to find out who the guy is. If it's not Jon Jones, get out of the way. I'll take the title. I'll fight someone else. Happy days.
Aspinall has been vocal about wanting to unify the heavyweight titles, and with Jones actively training again, those fight negotiations could heat up quickly. If Jones does make it onto the White House card, Aspinall versus Jones would be the perfect co-main event to complement a potential McGregor return. However, Aspinall has his own upcoming title defense against Cyril Gane to worry about first. But make no mistake, he's keeping a close eye on these developments, and his team is surely preparing for the possibility of facing Jones on the biggest stage in UFC history.
Question for Tom. Tom, you were originally supposed to fight Jon Jones for the belt. Now it's Cyril. So my question is simple. Considering that Jones is nearing the end and Cyril is in his prime, who do you consider the biggest test right now?
Cyril's the guy I'm fighting, so he's the biggest test right now. Jon Jones is retired, so I don't really have much to say on that, to be honest. So I'm fighting this guy, and this guy's really good, so I'll be as ready as I can be.
In related news that could impact Jones's White House chances, all charges against him from a February car accident in Albuquerque have been officially dropped. The Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office dismissed the case after Jones's alibi defense held up. Jones released a statement saying, "I want to thank the District Attorney's Office for carefully reviewing the facts and ultimately vindicating me completely. The simple fact is this: I was never there. I never even left my house that night, and all the evidence proved that." Keep it locked here for all the latest updates on this developing story. This is shaping up to be the fight game story of the decade, and we'll be covering every twist and turn as it unfolds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
I'd love him to have a very highly paid boxing match.
UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall and his father Andy have just dropped a career-changing message that has the entire MMA community talking. And it's not about his upcoming title defense. The newly crowned undisputed heavyweight king, who claimed his throne after Jon Jones's shocking retirement in June, has his sights set beyond the octagon, and it involves boxing gloves, massive paydays, and a direct challenge to the UFC's pay structure. This is a story about money, power, and a father's bold vision for his son's future. Let's break it all down. The bombshell came during a candid interview on Tom Aspinall's own YouTube channel, where his father and longtime coach Andy Aspinall didn't hold back about their plans. "I'd love him to have a very highly paid boxing match for the money. The money's there, and I don't see why somebody as talented as Tom shouldn't have a piece of that money when the boxers are getting 100 times more." Andy Aspinall.
The money. I'd love him to have a very highly paid boxing match. For the money. You know, the money's there, and I don't see why somebody as talented as Tom shouldn't have a piece of that money when the boxers are getting 100 times more than 100 times more.
But here's where it gets even more explosive. Andy Aspinall took direct aim at the UFC's compensation structure, stating bluntly, "The UFC ain't paying that type of money."
The UFC ain't paying that type of money.
This isn't just wishful thinking from a proud father. This is a calculated business statement from the man who's coached Tom since he was a child and helped guide him to the pinnacle of mixed martial arts. The timing couldn't be more significant. Tom Aspinall is set to make his first undisputed title defense against Cyril Gane at UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi on October 25th. But even with championship gold around his waist, his camp is already looking beyond the octagon for what they see as the real money.
All right, now, UFC 321, October 25th, Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall will face Cyril Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight. You can go to, tickets go on sale this Friday.
Let's talk numbers, because that's what this is really about. Andy Aspinall didn't mince words when describing the financial disparity between boxing and MMA. According to Andy, boxers are earning more than 100 times more than UFC fighters. To put this in perspective, while top UFC champions might earn millions per fight, boxing's biggest stars regularly command $20 to $50 million purses, sometimes even more.